Hello and welcome to She Means Business podcast. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Olivia, and on today's episode, we're talking about work-life balance.
So let's get this started. So work-life balance, let's just discuss it briefly. Is there one? Is it a myth? What is the balance?
I struggle because I'm traveling all the time, working all the time, and I'm all or nothing. I'm not going to lie. And I think
I'm the exact same.
I just think so many girls in the industry, in business, beat themselves up because they think they have to be perfect constantly.
Yeah.
And
It's not. Like, I feel like it's really hard to have that balance. It's like when you like want to go out, when you want to go out with your friends or you want to go out with your partner, you can't be sitting there on your phone as well doing everything. And when you're hungover, the last thing you want to do, or when you're on holiday, like you do just have to take time for yourself.
yeah.
But it's not a balance, is it? Like you can't.
I think the one thing that you can do is implement like structure to your day, because if every single day just kind of blurs into one and it's like you're scrambling, you're like, I'm doing this, I don't know what I'm doing, but having some kind of structure can help you if you struggle having work-life balance. Like I have to wake up and do certain things in the morning and then I will have a productive day.
Yeah.
And then try
the
and shut
morning
off.
routine's so important, isn't it? Like when you don't do that or like you sleep through and
Yeah.
you're in a rush, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I feel like we were saying this earlier, you know, like with when people say, how do you balance it? Like sometimes you just don't. Like sometimes if you've got a launch coming up or you're really busy with something, like everything else just takes a massive step back. Like you might, for us, we live abroad, like we might miss our mum's birthday or we might miss something really important because we've had to prioritise work.
Yeah. Like you do, that's another thing. Like you have to make so many sacrifices. Like when I was filming International Beauty Blueprint, for example, because I struggle with work-life balance, I crammed so much filming into like 3 days before the launch of the course. Kind of like what I used to do when I was back at uni. I would
You just
study
leave
like
a
few nights before. But then that I had to sacrifice like being tired, not going to the gym, and because I just crammed everything last minute, and that is something I actually need to work on. Trying to be a little bit more organised. We're not organised at all.
So many people that I speak to that have their own businesses do the same though, because I think you know when something's got to be ready by, but because you've got so many other things to do, you do leave everything because it's hard to prioritise that at that time when it's not needed yet. So it's like you do wait until the last minute, till you know the last physical minute that you can get everything done.
Yeah.
I do, and you do.
My business coach taught me something that has always stuck with me. And he said, you can't run a 6 or 7 figure business off a to-do list. Like, which is so true, because he said to me, Olivia, like, what's your organization like? And like, how do you implement daily tasks? And I was like, I just have my notes app. We was looking at our notes the other day and mine had like 20,000. Everyone else's had like 200. I use it every day. And he was like, you can't run a 7-figure business off of a to-do list. Like you have to actually plan and schedule things into a calendar and make these things kind of an appointment, and really check in on yourself. Like give yourself daily tasks and daily time slots to get certain tasks done, and stop leaving everything to the last minute. Give things deadlines and give yourself time to work on. But I think that's easier said than done.
Yeah, it's so much easier said than done, because when you've got certain things that you've, like, I think when you've got something coming up, if you've got other things, say like you're teaching or you're doing this or you're doing that, you're not gonna, if you know that's not till another 3 months, you're probably not gonna start working on it yet. But I think people that can do that, it's an amazing way of, because you're so much more organised, like breaking it down into little sections and doing it like a little bit by a little bit.
I think there's 2 types of people in the world: those who get really stressed at leaving things last minute, and those who, I work better under pressure. If I know I've got 6 months to plan a project, but if I know I've got a week, it's like I work really well under pressure. I'll get everything done. And I think it's as well because I know I can get things done at a high standard in a short period of time.
I think I do as well. I feel like I work much better when I'm just focusing on that one thing. So like I'd rather have 3 days where I'm just working on that like solid rather than just get, like I feel like it takes me a minute to get stuck in. So if I was just doing half an hour a day, like I just don't think it would work as well for me.
I have to though. I don't know about anyone else, but when it's the time of the month, I'm like a psychopath. Like I can't be bothered to do anything. I don't want to speak to anyone. I could cry all the time. And when I'm in that stage, I've put a lot of pressure on myself. It's like I'm not filming as much content. I'm not talking about what I offer because I don't want to. I kind of just want to be at home and just relax. I don't want to go to the gym. And as I've got older, just like understanding that feeling and dealing with that at that time, like that week, I have to just go get my hair done, go get my nails done, do self-care, and that's okay. And then I can be back on it the week after and not like putting so much pressure on yourself when you can't be bothered, because sometimes you can't. And everyone's on social media like, you have to have this structure and do this and do that. But you don't. Like,
no, but I think whatever feels right for you is like your balance. Like when people say about, when people make out like they've got such a balanced life and this stays for the children and this stays for work, and it's like, how you can't live like that all the time. I don't think you can. Like I think some weeks are a lot more productive and a lot more business focused than others. Sometimes when you've been working on something really hard, then you do just want to take a few days where you're like, oh, I just want to go and like see my friends, see my family, like chill, watch some telly if that's what you want to do. But like, you don't have to put pressure on yourself if you feel like you just need a couple of days to do nothing.
100%. And I think it's a girl thing as well. Like my boyfriend, I feel like men are a little bit more animalistic. In a way, animalistic, is that the right word?
I don't think that's the word.
That's not the word, is it? It's not
a little bit more
like, not a predator.
Hungry? No.
He's up at 5 a.m. and he's like, money, how do I make money? Like, let's get this shit done. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, I need to go back to sleep. He's like, let's get up and grind. And I'm like, it's 5 a.m. The sun's not even rise, love. Give me a minute. But he is like that.
That's the energy that you need to be around. No, I know. That's so good.
But he's like that. And then he's like, gym. And then he's like, let's go for a run. And then he's like, let's work more. And his energy is like that 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. But I do think that can be like, what is the word? Not animalistic. Masculine energy?
Masculine energy.
We need to be in our feminine energy and just do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Without any pressure.
Yeah, and I think
still killing
just
it.
As long as you're happy, then that's the main thing. Yeah. Like, we love what we're doing. Anyone who's in our industry, like, it's such a lovely job to be in. Like, you're always helping women. So you've got to feel best about yourself. If you're feeling like shit and you feel like you need a break, you're not no good to anyone else. Like, we're not going to be good to mentoring someone if we're feeling like shit. Yeah. We're not going to be bringing the right energy. So there's no point of putting pressure on ourselves to do. I mean, it's not like obviously we work a lot. But yeah, definitely work-life balance, just not a thing. I think that's just a myth. It's just like, just sometimes it's great, sometimes it's...
And like, I think it's difficult to think. I always think like, what is my dream life? What is my dream day? And how would that actually look?
Oh, sorry. I was getting the bits.
Oh, I thought someone was on the phone.
Okay, yeah.
You should make a note of that. I forgot what we were saying.
No, we were just up to about business.
Don't give me the giggles.
So, would you say, like, obviously, with us being like workers, we're not we say like, obviously we're business women, but it's not like we walk around in a suit all day. Like, we can sit and mentor people in our pajamas on the sofa, but like, do you think that where we work for ourselves, we like lack that needing to get up and be a businesswoman, like get dressed? That
I go through stages because I feel like I work so much better when I do put that effort in, when I dress up. If I put heels and like a suit pants on or something and go to a restaurant with my laptop, I just feel like I'm that girl. Yeah, and I'll get so like much more done than if my hair's fucked on top of my head, I've got Uggs on, no makeup. You kind of act like you're like bringing that low energy and kind of working that sometimes. But then again, saying that, sometimes I do the best stuff just sat on my sofa with no makeup on. With like not making any effort. I just genuinely think whatever you intentionally need to get done that day, you don't have to be decked out, you know.
What's the most businessy thing you've ever done in your pajamas?
most things every single day. Like, I will do my mentoring calls in my pajamas, but they actually love that. They're like, a lot of the girls that I work with say, I love being mentored by you because you're just real and relatable.
Yeah.
Like, no one, even like Kim Kardashian, like, obviously you see her decked out, but I bet she sits and does so much work in her comfies at home. Like, you don't have to.
Like, no one sits at home in doing their work in their fucking suit. That's the worst thing, isn't it? You know, when you get home, I just want to take my clothes off, take my makeup off. I hate sitting with my makeup on.
Same. I don't really wear makeup because I actually hate it. We don't.
And I hate even wearing leggings. Like, I get in and I just want to be like, feel like loose.
Baggy clothes.
Like a little slob.
Yeah, I think if that's not naturally you every single day, like my grandma was so glam all the time. Like, the only memories I have of her, she's just even if we went to the supermarket, she had heels on, curly blow, red lipstick, huge earrings, and that was just her personality. But that's not you, then, you know, don't force it.
Yeah.
You don't need to be. But I think it's funny, we actually can just make so much money in our pajamas.
I know, it's crazy,
Working
isn't it?
from your phone, working anywhere. Sometimes I'm in a bikini and I'm making sales.
We can literally, I think as a woman as well, it's just so good that you can do so much. Like, we can have such a big scalable business and we can be like dressed up version of ourselves. We can be so many different versions of ourselves, which I love. Men don't really have that option. Like, men are just like one masculine energy, aren't they, all the time, whereas we can be like girly and cute, we can be like really businesswoman boss vibes. Like, we can have like so many different personalities and we can decide when we wake up what one we want to be today.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to be the same version of ourselves every single day.
Exactly.
It's so nice.
Having that freedom and flexibility is so important, I think, because life is just too short.
I think as long as you've got, like, for a businesswoman, as long as you've got your morning routine, like we said, like every day having that same little routine in the morning of a little bit of self-care and like motivation to get you on for the day.
Yeah.
That's just so important. And then it's like you can go about your day.
I think, 100%. You need to have some sort of structure, because I actually struggled at a time when I lacked structure. And I think you did as well when you lived in Thailand. And you don't get anything done. Like, work-life balance is difficult, but you can add structure to your day. It doesn't mean you have to be working 24 hours in the day, but whatever it is you need to do that's going to get your shit done, you need to prioritize that.
I think it's also with when you've got things that you need to get done, you've got like goals or you've got particular things, whether it's just a simple task or whether you're working on a project or whatever it is, if you haven't got like set timings and set specific structure in place, then you don't do it. So say if, like when we said we've got no structure, you think to yourself the day before, right, I'm going to do loads tomorrow, but there's nothing specifically set. So you wake up and then you're like, oh, I want to get loads done today. And then you do a few things and you think, oh, I'll do it at lunchtime. And then you think, oh, I'll do it later. Whereas if the day before you're like, right, I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. and I'm going to do this, this and this. Like, when you stick to an actual specific activity at a specific time, you're more likely to actually do it.
Yeah.
Rather than just be like, I'm going to do a bit of this tomorrow.
Just floating
Whereas
around.
it's like, if you say, right, I'm going to open my laptop at 7 a.m. I'm going to do all of my emails, or I'm going to do 30 minutes of X, Y, and Z. Like, if you've actually got a specific thing set, then you do it. Whereas if you just think, you know, like when people have got like a New Year's resolution or whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm going to eat healthier. Like, how do you know if you ate healthier or not? Because you haven't set anything in specific. It's not like, you've got to say like, I'm going to cut X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to only eat X, Y, and Z. And then your brain can work with it because you're actually telling it what you're going to do.
Especially if you've got like big goals. Like, some of the stuff that I want to do sounds so unattainable, but to get that done, you do actually have to have some sort of structure. It's not just going to float to you. I've started as well just working backwards from everything, like choosing the thing and then giving myself like 6 weeks, because I can't, like we were saying before, I can't do 30 minutes every day for 6 months on something, but I'll think of like the end goal, and then 6 weeks before that, what is it I need to do in that 6 week block to get that task done, to achieve that goal. And that really helps.
Yeah, breaking it down into little steps.
Love it.
So yeah, on that note, I think everyone should have
Wait. With that being said, what is your go-to self-care routine if you are feeling a bit like CBA, not motivated?
So mine would be, if I want to motivate myself, if I'm getting back into something, mine would be to get up in the morning, have a coffee. I'll sit on the balcony with my coffee. I love going outside to have like my morning, like even if it's just for 15 minutes, I love being outside in the fresh air. So I'll make a coffee, go outside, come back in, and then I'll go for a run. For me, having a run clears my head and motivates me for the day, even if it's just like a little 5K, go for a run, come back in. If I'm somewhere that's ice baths available, I would love to have an ice bath. It sets me off for the day. If not, I go in the shower, and then at the end of my shower, I put it onto freezing cold, literally just for 5 seconds. Oh my God, I'm not joking.
That's why when I got in the shower this morning, it was so cold.
I
was
put it
thinking,
on.
Who was been in here?
I put it after, at the end of my shower, I always do a quick freezing cold, and then I do normally put it back. But I normally just do a little,
it was on
maybe I'd
cold,
forgot.
yeah.
And I literally just do a little spin, and I just stand under it for like 5 seconds just to tell myself that I can.
Yeah.
And then get on with the day.
Psycho.
What's yours?
I have to do something. This is, I sound really vain, but like I have to get a facial or get my nails done or get my hair done. Something that if I feel like I look nice, it motivates me to like work harder. It's really weird. Also moving my body, like going to the gym or going for a big walk, especially in LA. Like I like to be outside as well. So going on a huge hike, that is so much good, so much fun for me. But yeah, if I'm some days I need to just do nothing, like switch off from the world, switch off from work, and just think and like be in my thoughts, because I'm so like blah, all the time. And sometimes for me to feel motivated, I have to have a day of not speaking to anyone about anything, and then I can reset and go the next day.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I think when you're so busy, like having a little,
Yeah.
you do need a minute sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, just to recharge.
Like even us just being together for the last 3 days, like we've not stopped, like
I know.
constantly. We haven't watched anything. It's not like we've sat and just chilled at all. We've
like,
been
even after work, we're thinking about work and talking
Yeah.
about work and what do we need
like
to do next.
last night we're just sitting there with our wine but on the laptop. Like we're not. It doesn't stop, does it?
No. But I like that though.
No, I love
and
it.
We're doing it for us. as well,
Yeah,
so that's the most amazing
it's so
thing.
good. It's nice when you're that passionate about something though. Like you want to get up. Like this morning we're both up straight on our phones on their laptops. Like
Yeah.
so nice that you've got like a drive.
Yeah.
Imagine you had nothing to get up for, or like you was thinking, oh, I've got to go to work.
I know. Never feel like that.
Ever?
Love what you do and never work a day in your life.
Well, that was a lovely chat. Thank you so much for listening. And we would love it if you would follow us on she.meansbusiness podcast. Thank you.